Okay, let's talk about Fife Property Market update from the week beginning the 26th of November to yesterday, the 2nd of December. We're going to be looking at the November figures in total as well. This gives us a strong indication about what's happening in the marketplace at this point in time. It's contrary to what you actually hear from the nationwide in Halifax, and we spoke about that in the midweek show during the week about the Fife property market and which homes are actually selling best and in what price brackets. And I will go over that for anybody that's on the market right now or thinking about going on the market right now. This is probably the show for you. This is probably the information that you need to hear in order to make informed decisions about what you need to do next in order to whether you should go now and put your house on the market, whether you should wait for next year and put your house on the market, or whether you shouldn't put your house on the market at all. It's genuine. This show will be for you. Let's talk about the current position in terms of last week for the number of properties actually sold right across the Fife property market with all the estate agents. So here we are right here. And the glaring obvious thing is you can notice down below 101 properties actually sold, 87 actually came to market. So there's more properties being sold in the regional areas and right across Fife than there is actually being listed. Now, this is not unusual for this time of year, especially when it coming into winter, because everybody is convinced that properties don't sell at this time of year. But what does that tell you right in front of you right now? There is still demand out there. There's still property out there. There's still people out there. There's still buyers out there looking to buy. And because people aren't putting their house on the market right now and they're waiting until next year, the people that do put their house on the market right now are taking full advantage of all the buyers that are sitting in the marketplace at this point in time. By the way, this time next year and next month, when we come to the beginning of January, all these buyers will have bought and you'll have lost them all by now. Plus the fact the Boxing Day bounce is about to come. And if you're not there for the Boxing Day bounce, you're missing the potential of the double amount of exposure for your property in one single day than any other time of the year. That's what the Boxing Day bounce, and that's how powerful it is in terms of market activity over the whole of the Fife, over the whole of the country as well. Boxing Day is the time when everybody starts to focus back on property. They go straight onto Rightmove, they go onto websites like Fife Properties, they go onto Zoopla, go onto Prime Location, and they love looking at property now because their focus now is on the next steps in their journey. Christmas is out the way. New Year's just a formality, but the next steps are to come. Plus the fact people do make decisions, they wait and hang off for Christmas to get out of the way before they make decisions about the next steps in their journey overall. And that's why the Boxing Day bounce is so important and why it gets a huge amount of activity. But you can see right there, right in more or less, I was going to say in black and white, but it's literally in colour. And the fact that 101 properties actually sold, 87 actually came to market. There's a boom. Supply is out, demand is outstripping supply at this point in time. You can see it right across the region. Cooper 6 versus 7. Eastnewt 2 came on, 7 sold. St Andrews 3 came on, 6 sold. Leadmouth 9 versus 13. Dunfermline 34 versus 48. Glenrothes 11 versus 7, slightly different. Kirkcaldy 22 versus 13. Now, you can see in the Kirkcaldy areas, the Glenrothes areas, that's where there's a lot of new build happening right now. Hence the reason why there's a lot of properties coming to the market because people will be buying new builds and therefore there'll be oversupply in these regional areas. But overall, right throughout Fife, it is a good market to be in. Now, I'll talk about that after we've looked at the numbers for the actual November market. Let's look at November. Let's look at how November fared because one week doesn't make a trend. So we can look at how November fared in comparison to the weekly trends. And this is it right in front of you here. Look at that. 408 properties sold in November through all the estate agents, 398 sold. Demand is outstripping supply. Right across the regions, 126% for Cooper, 163% for Eastnewt, 115% for St Andrews, 105% for Leavenmouth, Dunfermline 107%. Again, the Glenrothes and Kirkcaldy areas oversupply in terms of new builds coming onto the market. Hence the reason why a lot of people are actually putting their house on the market, and there's less people buying. But Now, people that are buying they're not in these numbers, but they're going on to buy new build, which isn't in these numbers in these areas. So these markets will be still quite buoyant with the amount of new builds going in. Once all the new builds are built, that's when the market stabilizes in regional areas. But this tells us a message right across the market. Now, the most important point to actually understand is the midweek show that Perry and I did. Let me talk about this and let me look at the numbers for you. Overall, right through the market at this point in time, available for the buy throughout the Fife area, according to Zoopla. If you go into Zoopla right now, you type in Fife and what is available, there's 943 properties. Now, we talked about this last month and it was sitting at 1,050. So basically, 100 properties more have been sold than actually put onto the market in the last month itself overall. That is a sign of a boom market locally in the Fife area. That is completely contrary to what the nationwide and what Halifax tell you as well, and what the doom and gloom on the media tells you in the newspapers that there's an impending property crash or there's going to be a problem in the property market. There is certain bandings which are more attractive than others, and let me just talk about this. The Fife property markets show we did during the week. There's an article on this post. You can click on the link, you can read the article in detail, and it tells you where the price bandings are that are most popular. But there's no surprise when I actually tell you that the price bandings that are most popular are these ones. You can see that right there. Up to 130,000, there's 61% of properties actually selling that are coming onto the market up to 130,000. It drops to 56% when it goes to 130 to 220. It drops to 46% of what's coming on to 220 to 325, and 43% or 42.8 from 325 and upwards. This falls in line with the fact and the information that we've been collating for the last 6 months. When you go to about 250,000 and upwards, that's when your buyers start to decline because the affordability level is a lot less. What you have to do as an estate agent, what we have to do personally, we have to start retargeting people. In other words, getting in front of people outside the area. That's in Glasgow and Edinburgh and Dundee and Perth and also in London itself. Now, we're currently running the number of people visiting our website every single month out the London area, for example, is round about 7,000 to 8,000 people every single month. In the Edinburgh area, it's round about 4,000. In the Glasgow area, it's round about 2,000 to 3,000. In the Dundee area and the Perth area, it's round about 2,000 as well. So there's a huge amount of people outside the area looking at Fife as an attractive proposition because it's more affordable and you get more for your money. Plus the fact it's a more attractive lifestyle to be in a coastal village or be in maybe possibly St Andrews or an easy access to all the amenities without actually needing to live in the city, especially for a young family growing up. It's a better choice of lifestyle. Now, working remotely has actually demonstrated clearly that a lot of people in professional positions can actually work remotely and at home, and they don't necessarily need to go into the office. They can do Zoom meetings, they can do Google meetings, they can do, any other meetings online, which will actually accommodate for the fact that remote home working is the way forward for them. And literally, they just need to go into the office maybe once a week, if any of that. So that's where that market is clearly. This is why we retarget that market to make sure we can capture these people as well as local people in order to buy our properties and see our properties. Hence the reason why we do professional talk-ups. Why would you want to buy in this area? Emotionally led rather than factually led, because it's telling people what they need to know about the lifestyle choice they're about to make in the area of Fife. Hence the reason why I say most of the time, welcome to God's country. So tune into that one, watch that show. It talks about these statistics overall, and it is the Fife property market, which homes are selling the best. You can even visit our website. It's in our blogs and vlogs. It has the podcast on there. It has the video on there of the show that Perry and I did, but it also has the article with a full detail and depth about where the price bandings are and what's selling well. But you can see at a summary level right now where it is in terms of this market. That all goes hand in hand with our show we did yesterday for Perry and I, which was going nowhere. Is your asking price or your estate agent actually holding up your sale? Now, this is quite interesting because we went in depth into this, and often there's a few categories which actually take into account is it actually the asking price that's actually holding it up. Some of the things we actually talked about, Perry and I, was actually what's really happening with house prices overall throughout the Fife and also throughout the UK. Could your mindset, this is quite an important one because everybody has a preconceived idea about what they expect the market to be like before they go in the market. And sometimes that can get in the road of actually hearing what your estate agent is actually talking to you and telling you what you need to do next. You can't see the forest for the trees, is the expression. Also, we go on to say, why don't buyers just make lower offers? That's quite interesting. Why a buyer doesn't just make a lower offer. And this is all about realigning price points and actually making sure you're positioned to take into account the current market conditions. You might have been on 6 months ago, you might have been on 3 months ago, you might have been on even a year ago for some people out there. And that might be fundamentally different in terms of what the market is right now and what you need to do. We talk about in terms of being able to realign in order to push the price back up to get the original offer you wanted in the first place. But there's a strategy to do that, and we talk about that in yesterday's show. We also going to talk about will waiting cost you more and actually trading up. Well, there's an easy answer to that, and possibly the answer to that might be yes. And is your agent in the way of you actually finding a buyer? Sometimes your agent could be the person that's the problem. That's actually not allowing you to be able to find the right buyer because maybe their strategy isn't the right strategy in order for the type of property you have, in order for the type of market you're actually appealing to. This is talks about why we talk about so much about retargeting people in London and Glasgow and Edinburgh and outside the area and cities which actually have more money, which actually have a better price point. So when they sell their house, which is a lot smaller house, and get a lot more money for what you have here, they can easily afford that. You know, there's 3 and 4 bedroom apartments in Glasgow right now at 600,000. That's a crazy price when you think about it. But what could you buy for 600,000 in Fife? Wow, coastal property, right on the harbour, right on the beach for that sort of price point. And yet you're having to buy an apartment in Glasgow, in city centre Glasgow, for that sort of price point. Which is better appealing to a family? I know what one is for me. Hence the reason why I live in Fife. Hey, okay, so that show is actually quite important to a lot of people out there when you're considering putting your house in the market or if your house is currently on the market right now. So tune into that. It's on this link as well. If you click on the link, it'll take you to the list of the property or the shows that we've actually done and the articles that we've done as well. And it'll give you a good insight into what's going on right now. During the week, I'll talk about what's coming in the market soon. So hang on for that. I'm just about to talk about that. But quickly, I want to touch on the UK House Price Index for Zoopla. The land registry is my key data. It's the one I always think is factual because it's a true reflection of what's happening right across the property market. But the second best one, I think, is the UK House Price Index, which Zoopla puts out, because Zoopla's got a bigger reach than what the Halifax and what the Nationwide have individually, because they tend to focus on the English market quite a lot, hence the reason why they have the doom and gloom about property prices actually decreasing and actually the market and actually not being as stable as Scotland is. Zoopla go on to talk about Scotland is actually quite a stable market, and Scotland is actually quite an attractive market. And while the UK market overall, according to Zoopla, and their figures, has gone down 1.2% in the last year, the Scottish market, for example, Glasgow, has gone up 1.1% year on year, Edinburgh 0.8% year on year. And so the Scottish market has actually gone up overall, just in average. Fife itself, according to the Land Registry, has gone up round a bit itself, but nobody talks about that. The most important point is transactional numbers, and you can see by the information that we've got here on these posts, for example, for the monthly one here, the transactional numbers are still holding up quite well year on year. This is about the same amount of properties actually come onto the market and actually sold year on year overall. So it tells you Fife is actually quite a stable market in comparison to other markets outside of the Fife area overall. Let's talk about what's sold, what's come into the market, and information. And we'll talk about the Wealth Creation Show last of all, and why you should be tuning into that. Wealth Creation Show is going to be quite an important one. It's all the regrets you're going to have when you're lying on your deathbed. That's actually quite a good one to talk about tomorrow. And I'll talk about personally about my regrets, if there would be any. Although I tend to take a decision about, am I going to have a regret? Yep, let's go for it now then. Okay, so let's talk about what's coming onto the market, what's due to come to the market, and what's sold. Quickly, This is sold now. The shop in Soar Street in Anstruther, it's actually sold. It took a wee bit more than usual, 5 months to actually sell, but it's actually away. There's a buyer out there now taking this property. Commercial building, it's a cracking one. It was offers over 125,000 and it's actually away. Okay, the next one actually sold is actually Park Drive. Away within 3 weeks. As soon as that went on the market, very popular, got a fantastic outlook, a 2-bedroom, again, a fantastic price point for people, first-time buyers, and possibly upgrading for an apartment. 2-bedroom, end terrace property, 110,000, offers over, and it was sold in 3 weeks. Okay, next one was actually Taylor Street in Methil, sold in 4 weeks, 2-bedroom ground floor flat, sold to an investor, 43,000, offers over. You notice all the smaller price points are actually selling quite well. This goes hand in hand with what I said about the up to 130,000. So for people in a higher price bracket, you might just be waiting a bit longer than usual. So this expectation about what we had last year about it's going to fly off the shelf, my house is going to sell itself, everybody out there is going to want it. Everybody out there does want it, but how many people can actually afford it in the current climate with interest rates being a lot higher than they were a year ago? That's the key data and the key information. And this is why these buyers at the top end of the market have begun to dwindle a bit. And it's taken a lot longer to get the buyer to come into the market. Remember, it's not how long your property's been in the market, it's how long the buyer's been in the market. Buyer might have been in the market for 6 months. As soon as you put your property on, you get an offer. We talk about that in the weekly show. We talk about the Fife property market and actually which homes are selling best. But we talk about that quite a bit. The buyer's maybe been for 6 months. Your property comes on the market. They make an initial offer and probably an offer you can't refuse. And immediately some people go, I don't want, no, it's maybe, oh, it's the first offer. I might get more offers. And it's like, no, 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 no. It's how long the buyer's been in the market, because the buyer could be out the market quite soon because they'll be desperate to look for a property and they might go and buy someone else's property because there is more properties coming to the market and they have more properties to actually choose from. There's just under 1,000 right across the whole of Fife up for sale right now. So they have a lot more to choose from, maybe at more attractive price points. So maybe your first offer is the best offer. And we do talk about that. Interestingly enough, I refer to deal or no deal quite a bit. If you watch that, you'll know what I mean by this. Okay, so let's jump back to that. So Michael Street as well in Buckhaven, sold in 3 months, 2-bedroom ground floor flat. It was listed at offers over 65,000. Michael Street in Buckhaven offers over 65,000. It's a really good price point. You can see now how the affordability levels at that price point is actually what people are going for. And these are the type of properties that are actually quite popular. And actually, the apartments and flats are actually beginning to, I believe, in my opinion, apartments and flats will accelerate in price a lot more percentage-wise than what a house or a bigger property will accelerate in, purely for the fact that people are actually looking to downsize potentially and have a more affordable accommodation and also more affordable for heating and council tax and ongoing costs. This is why they're choosing to move to apartments, flats, and also potentially competing with first-time buyers as well in terms of getting end terrace semi-detached properties, especially bungalows like hen's teeth. You've got a bungalow out there, contact us now because we've got loads of buyers looking for bungalows right across the Fife area. So what's coming to the market soon? Well, Grasminton, Stedding and Crail, we've got a 4-bedroom detached house coming on quite soon. Now, if you remember the land that I sold recently and also the 2-bedroom terraced or link detached property we actually sold recently. They actually went quite well and they went quite quick. So watch out for that one. If you're interested in these properties, still contact us, regardless of what I say about the market and how it's slowed down a bit from usual. If their dream property comes up, it's probably somebody else's dream property as well. So potentially, if you do have people in the market at the same point in time as you, they will actually go still quite quickly. We have actually sold properties, not as much, but recently from pre-portal launches just on social media. So by the time it goes to our website, it's actually sold. So Grasminton, Stedding, Crail, 4-bedroom detached house will be coming on. Newark Street in St Mona's, 2-bedroom end terraced house is actually going to be coming on. Ladyburn Place, Skinner Steps and Cooper, 1-bedroom first floor flat. Main Street in Lower Largo, 1-bedroom ground floor flat will be coming on. West Shore Street, St Monans, 3-bedroom mid terraced townhouse will be coming on. Roger Street in Cellar Dyke. Now, This will be coming on into the new year. This is a building with planning permission to develop into 4 one-bedroom apartments and a 3-bedroom house at the end of it. So that will be coming on quite soon. That will be sold with planning permission on it. It's got it right now. So we're going to be launching that in the new year. If you're interested in it now, contact us now in Roger Street in Cellardyke. No surprise when I say it's the Barnett's Bakery, old building. But it has permission. We've signed it up. We've got the deal. We've putting everything together. If you're interested in it right now, contact us right now. You need to speak to us right now. You don't want to miss out on that development because it will be a good money earner for someone out there that wants a project to develop. Finally, Sandwell Street in Leven in Buckhaven area, a 3-bedroom semi-detached house will be going up for sale as well. Completed, keys handed over the line last week. Completed, St David's Manse, Church Street in Buckhaven, 5-bedroom detached house that sold in 19 days originally, just around about the home report value, and that was away. That was the one where the surveyor said to me, "There's no way a house has ever achieved over 100,000 in the Buckhaven area." Surprise, surprise, we managed to do that at that point in time. So you never know what you don't know what you don't know, and it's our job to educate you on telling you what you need to know in order to make informed decisions. The last one, which is one I want to do tomorrow with Richard, we're going to talk about the Wealth Creation Show, the 6 key regrets for people on their deathbed, the 6 things that people genuinely regret about the fact that they wish they had done at that point in time when it was like they had no chance of being able to do it again. They wish they had done it. We're going to talk about that. It's quite important to me. I like to talk about these things. I think it's really important from the point of view that, you maybe want to take more risks. You maybe want to take that opportunity. You maybe want to get out there and make a fundamental difference to what everything else is out there, so you could actually make it happen for yourself. You'd be surprised at the amount of people out here don't understand what you need to do, and they let everything slip by. Let everything slip by. They wish they'd been more loving to people who matter most. They wish they'd lived their dream. They wish they'd definitely lived their dream. And they also wish they're taking better care of themselves. Hence the reason why they are where they are right now. And potentially, it's no dress rehearsal. You're no coming back. You only go round once. And this is what we'll talk about in the Wealth Creation Show tomorrow. So tune into that tomorrow at 12:30 with Richard and I, and we'll be talking about it. You can ask questions live. You can make your comments as well. Until next time, guys, I'm Jim Parker for Fife Properties TV. Bye-bye for now.